Customer Center. On the Customer Center page, you have the ability to put a test comment at the top of the page. So let's add one now. Enter your content and hit save. And you can see that that single comment is saved at the top of the page. Moving on, we have the ability to add and edit tiles and a shortcut to the customer list. Next is the process requests. This is where any new unprocessed leads will be displayed. Next, we have actions. From here, you have a handful of options to choose from, such as email customers, add customer, lead performance report, import and export, and clean up and merge customers. Let's take a look at the email customers tool. From here, you have the ability to send to customers, or by clicking the box, you can send to a customer group, which we'll talk about shortly. You have the ability to CC, BCC, add a subject line, and attach files. Then you'll enter your content, and you can see your signatures preloaded. You can add hyperlinks, images, and videos, just like any other email tool. Then we would hit send. Next, we have add customer. This tool gives us the ability to manually add a customer. We want to make sure to include all the basic customer information. You also have the ability to add them into a group or update their status. Next is their primary address. And from here, we also have the ability to send them a welcome email. And we can hit see more information. And we have the ability to add birthday and global email opt-outs. You can see there's a lot of information for our customers here. Next would be the transaction pipeline, postal address information, additional contact, and family information. From here, you can add a customer directly into the transaction pipeline. Under postal information, we can enter an envelope salutation. That'll be the first line used when creating mailing labels. We also have additional contact information, such as additional emails, daytime and evening phone, and social media links. Lastly, we have family information, where we can go to add family members, such as children, mother, father, partner. And this is important because once we enter all their information, we can CC them in emails, and we can create calendar events, such as holidays or anniversaries. Once you have all the information entered, you can hit save and close or save and view profile. Next, we have the lead performance report. Clicking this gives us the ability to put in our report criteria. We have several custom ranges available for these reports, as well as the ability to compare data from one date range to another. You can even consider office hours for these reports. What these reports do is give you an idea of how many active customers you had from one date to the next, how quick your response times were to these customers, and all the request types that have come through specifically. We can also see the lead update request response time. These metrics help us keep track of our leads and response times. We can see the broadcasted company lead and the broadcasted non-broadcasted leads. So moving back into the Customer Center tools. Next, we have import and export customers. They have the ability to import, delete imports, and export their contacts. Let's start by doing an example for import. So first, your file size has to be 16 megabytes or smaller, and it has to be in a CSV file format. Once you browse and select the file and the file type, you have to click the Certify button just to verify that you're not violating any of the CAN-SPAM Act laws when uploading these contacts. And once we hit upload, they'll be transferred to our customer list. Next, we're going to look at the Cleanup Customers tool. This tool is very straightforward. It'll give you the ability to bulk, delete, and remove your customers. And lastly, we have merge customers. From here, if we have customers with multiple instances, we can go in and select these customers, and we can merge them together using the appropriate information. So this would give us the ability to take one customer who may have been imported multiple times and merge them together with the correct and up-to-date information. Make sure you review these information. Next, we have the hot and new customers. This section is going to give us a quick glance at who's new and who is currently engaged with your website using their My Portfolio account. This will give us a quick look at their last active date, any market watches, save search, and properties. Moving on, we have customer groups. This gives us the ability to group our customers. We can add a customer or we can select from one of the system-made groups. Let's look at what it looks like to add a customer group. You can give your group a name and a color. You can include this group in the pipeline manager, exclude them from marketing, and create virtual group rules. Setting rules will automatically add matching customers to this group based on the request type or initial lead source. And lastly, we can include customers from other groups. You can see the group name, whether they're in a pipeline phase, and how many customers are in that group. So let's take a look down here at the Avengers group I created. You can see that I currently have 2 customers in this group. Let's click Actions and View. Here we can see a list of those 2 customers. And if you click View, it will take you to their individual customer profiles. The next action we have is Export. This will export those customers as a CSV file. Then we have Labels to create mailing labels for each of the contacts in the group. And most importantly, we have the Edit function. So let's click on that and take a look. This gives us the ability to change the name, color, and some of those settings we saw when creating a group. Most importantly, this is where we add and remove users from this group. So we're just going to do a little click in here and see what we can do. Let's save the group. You can see there's now 4 customers in that Avengers group. Now let's go and add some customers to another group. Now the Amazing group and Avenger group both has 4 customers. So let's view them. We can see that those customers were successfully added to this group. And that's as easy as it is, adding customers to groups. Why are groups important? We can use the email tool now to go find that group. And if we click this, we'll be able to send an email to all 4 of those customers at once. So grouping helps making marketing and reaching out to your customers much more convenient. And there's a lot of different system-generated groups by default, so make sure you have a look through there. Moving down to the customer detailed list, this area is where I like to filter my groups. You see the filter by group? Let's click that and find our Avengers group. Now that we've selected that group, we can see more detailed information with links to customer profiles, lead source, last active date, last touched, and again, any of those saved searches or properties or campaigns that they're a part of. This helps give you a more detailed look at the customers residing within that group. Lastly, on this page, we get to the My Tasks. From here, we have the ability to view our tasks and create new tasks. You can see we can assign the task to ourselves. We select the customer that this task is for and the date, and we can set reminders or a task such as follow up with a call, and then any notes that you want to add to this task. Once that's created, this task will be added to your Delta Media Group calendar. From here, you can view all your events and the full calendar, and you can also see any events that your company has planned and register for those as well. And lastly, tasks related to customer groups. This gives us the ability to create a task for a specific group. We can go in, create a task. You can set a reminder after the customer's been in the group for X amount of days to follow up with them. That way, any customer that gets added to a group can also have a task created for them. So let's recap this page. Scrolling back up to the top, in the Customer Center, we have our test comments, shortcuts to the customer list, a quick look at unprocessed leads, a handful of action shortcuts, our new and engaged customers and some details, our customer groups, and adding a customer group, the detailed customer list that gives us the ability to filter those groups to get more detailed information, and of course, my tasks and calendars. So that's a quick recap of the CRM Customer Center. It's mainly an overview page giving you a look at a lot of different tools that we use. And